Over to hockey, the Panthers have another chance to secure the Stanley Cup tonight, while the Oilers will try to keep up the momentum from Game 4 as they tallied 8 goals after only scoring 4 total in the first 3 games of the series. Stuart Skinner also stopped 32 of 33 shots in Game 4. En route to the 8-1 win, the Oilers, who are 6-5 on the road this postseason, are still plus money versus the Panthers in Game 5 at 8 o'clock Eastern. As we welcome hockey insider for Daily Faceoff, Frank Saravalli, to GDD. Thanks so much for joining us. So the Oilers finally had a breakthrough on Saturday, but can they sustain that as the series goes on?
Of course they can, Maria. This is one of the most gifted offensive teams that we've seen in the NHL. Some of the best goal scorers, not to mention 2 of the most clutch playoff performers of their generation in Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Yet they had talked about getting good looks and good chances and not finding a way to convert and finish, only to have the dam absolutely break. They get Sergei Bobrovsky yanked from the game, 5 goals on 11 shots. He's on the bench in the first 25 minutes, and all of a sudden, this series, it seems, has been flipped on its head. For a team that couldn't score in the first 3 games, they've now scored 8 on Bobrovsky in the last 3 periods. And so they've found a way to make it happen, but I'd be betting on a Panthers bounce back, specifically for Bobrovsky, a guy that has always found a way as one of the most dialed in athletes.
Okay, so that sounds like you are officially on Florida for tonight's game from a betting standpoint.
Yeah, I just look at it and I say there's not really great value on the Oilers considering the crazy odds that they're facing to really make this a series. And what we're talking about here, down 3-0, is probably the greatest comeback if they could pull it off in the history of the sport. There's a reason why there's so few 3-0 comebacks. So can they win one game? Yeah, but I'd be betting on the Panthers. On the puck line here, I think that's the best way to find value, either thinking something like a 4-1 Panthers win as they find a way to defend better off the rush. Bobrovsky is much better. Or as a hockey bettor, if you're playing the puck line, you know that you're praying for the empty netter. If the Oilers are trying to push late to tie the game, maybe Florida perhaps finds a way that way to get you the puck line win.
So you also like a player prop for tonight. Tell us about that and how that plays into how you expect Florida to get this done.
Yeah, so Anton Lundell has been a guy that's been right around it for the Panthers here in these playoffs. Think back to some of their previous series, found some big goals against the Boston Bruins, scored against the New York Rangers, but has yet to get on the scoreboard with a goal so far in the Stanley Cup final. I like Lundell as an anytime goal scorer. You could get him in the plus 550 range. He's someone that has a clutch gene, has 3 points in his last 2 games and has been right around it, but hasn't found a way to get a goal. I like him as an anytime goal scorer as the Panthers go to try and clinch this Stanley Cup.
Very nice. Now, who are you betting on the Edmonton side of things?
Maria, I can't imagine that we can get through a Stanley Cup final and one of the most vaunted offenses with a power play that for stretches during this postseason has looked Harlem Globetrotters like. We've had multiple games so far in the Oilers postseason where they've scored 3 power play goals in one game. They're 1 for 16 so far in the Stanley Cup Finals. So I like a little bit of a different look on a parlay. I've got Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, and Zach Hyman all to get 1 power play point. That should be pretty juicy. And all 3 of those things could happen on 1 power play goal, given that they're big parts of the 5-man unit. So you're looking for a multi-goal power play effort from the Oilers if you're liking their chances to force Game 6. Of their 22 playoff games so far, 5 of them have been multi-power play goal games. So you're giving yourself a decent chance if this team can finally break through after getting to Bobrovsky last game at even strength. They found a power play goal late in that game when it didn't really mean much. Can they keep that power play momentum moving forward? No matter what happens in terms of the result of this Game 5, I like the Oilers power play to find a way.
Definitely expecting the Oilers to put up probably the biggest fight that they have left in them to prevent the Panthers from having an easy way of securing the cup. But Frank Saravalli, thanks so much. Enjoyed your GDD debut.